changed it. But in the website that I have, he's listed as a quarterback. Because when I did the data, it was because he was drafted as a QB.
Yeah.
So Darren Waller is listed as a wide receiver.
Darren Waller is a wide receiver, though.
Yeah, he is. Are you ready to do this?
Yeah, I'm ready to do this.
This is your forecast.
Let's go.
Let's go. It turns out Rashee Rice might not be playing football anymore.
That's horse jockey. What's a good phrase for that? That's bull crap.
Baloney?
Horse baloney?
No, just baloney.
Oh, okay. No, he's gonna play. Like, dude, there's it's not that big of a deal. Like, yeah, it might be a big deal. He crashed some cars or whatever.
It's a big deal in real life, but
yeah,
it's not gonna.
Absolutely. There's so many people that it's happened to where it's like, oh yeah, this is gonna end his career. It's gonna everything's done for him. He's not gonna play anymore. But there's so many people that it's happened to that you'll forget their names. Like,
oh yeah, we're talking about like Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Joe Mixon knocked a woman out.
Yeah.
Jalen Carter.
Hey.
The exact same thing happened.
Well, not the exact same thing, but similar. It happened. Like, somebody died in his case, but also it was somebody else's vehicle. I don't think he crashed. So.
Well, then there's Zeke. Like.
Yeah, nobody remembers Zeke. Well,
really?
He's an old guy too. So.
Well, he did get suspended 4 games. But
his
career wasn't over after that. And Dalvin Cook never happened to him. I don't know the details of that thing, but
yeah.
Now, of course, there was Henry Ruggs.
Yeah,
Josh Gordon.
The recency bias is hurting a lot of people there, saying, "Oh, he's the next Ruggs." So
right.
Then they're just putting him, Rashee Rice, in the same boat.
Well, it's like I think people just remember the bad things that happened, and the ones that nothing amounted to, it gets memory old.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
But Jude has Rashee Rice, and like he is desperate to trade him.
Really?
Like he wanted to trade me Marquise Brown for him.
No.
And I'm like, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah,
to you, man.
I would have vetoed that, and I don't have any power to veto.
But like, if you look at his rankings for Rashee Rice, it's gone down to according to we're on Keep Trade Cut here. It's gone down to about where Marquise Brown is. Like we got Rashee Rice at 81, and Marquise Brown is at 90. So it's not really that far off if you just look at this. But
that's wild.
But yeah, I would feel bad doing that to my own son. I would do it to you.
Thanks, man.
But like what? So we're looking at the tiers here. Like they got him now before Rashee Rice was supposed to be an early first, mid first, early first. Now they got him as a late first. Like me personally, I'm not dropping him down at all.
No, yeah, I think this is one of the guys you gotta stick with. I don't think you drop him really at all. Actually, they have him down to a 2025 late first.
That's okay, crazy. Yeah, right.
But yeah, I think he's gonna bounce back. I think he could be 5 years down the road and nobody even remembers this. So I think if you stick to your guns, or if you take advantage of it and say, hey, I don't know if Mike Evans, Devontae Adams, they're on that same level, right here on this list.
Evans is 82, Rashee Rice 81.
I would say those are almost fair trades because you're getting some youth from it, but with Rice, I think you kind of get more out of that. So I think you're trading a 30-year-old receiver for a 20. Yeah, so you could take advantage of the news and I did the same thing with Olave. He got arrested. I didn't even think about him. I don't know if he got arrested, but yeah, he was like, caught speeding and whatever.
150. So. Well, what about the other guy for Jordan Addison? Same thing, right? Didn't he have something like that?
Yeah, it was like right before the draft or something, or right before the season or something like that. It's just stuff that you just don't even remember. So Rashee Rice should have no problem. There's people that did way worse things.
Well, speaking of which, we're looking at Addison. He's number 51 here.
Yeah.
And Rashee Rice is all the way down to Now that's where Rashee Rice would have been before, is up here.
And that's where I would say that's pretty comparable.
Yeah, I think
Though
so
I probably like Rashee Rice more than Addison, but just because of his situation, being the only receiver for the Chiefs right now, because they got Marquise.
I also think there was a little bit of there is some doubters of Rashee Rice because a lot of people don't like the fact that he doesn't go downfield. He's more of that underneath guy, and people are suspicious of that. A lot of people are.
They think he's a juju.
Yeah,
okay.
But I mean, even if Juju was still in, Kansas City, he would still be doing good.
Yeah,
I mean, there's something to be said for a smart player who the quarterback can trust. When you look at all the receivers that Kansas City has been trying to put in there, and none of them has worked out.
Yeah.
Like you got Sky Moore, Tony, Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Yeah.
Like all these guys have failed, and then finally one guy works out. What it makes you like, and your first thought is, well, no, like
yeah. I don't
they
think
finally found a guy.
You definitely shouldn't doubt him because you could tell with the way he came up last year is that they didn't just put him in that spot. Like he earned it. He got those receptions. He got those targets. So you got to put him. Yeah. So like to put him up with Addison, T. Higgins, Zay Flowers, DK Metcalf. Yeah, I like Rashee Rice over top of a lot of those guys.
Okay, so we're going to move up to the next tier for wide receivers. Okay, so for one thing I want to point out is like it's pretty crazy to me that these rookies are already rated as high as they are.
Yeah,
like,
that's ridiculous.
I'm going to take out the picks though. Okay, so Marvin Harrison, they got him above Puka Nacua already.
Yeah, you just can't do that.
Like
Puka Nacua is going to be a threat for multiple years, like a long time.
As long as he's in that system with McVay and
a quarterback.
Well, yeah, that's the big question mark there as far as who's going to be replacing Stafford.
But still, like, it's going to matter.
And probably not.
He's a good receiver, so.
Yeah, dude. Like you got Marvin Harrison basically in the top tier.
Yeah.
Wide receivers already.
Yeah, that's wild. They got him 200 points below Amon-Ra St. Brown. That just shouldn't happen. But it's hype. It's we can talk about Drake London. Mm-hmm. Why is he up above Chris Olave, Brandon Ayuk, Tyreek Hill? Everybody's hype about Kirk Cousins. That's what it is.
And that's fair, but
it's fair to be hyped for him, but yeah, I would I couldn't put him that high. I don't think he's proved himself enough to say he's a good receiver yet. Like a good
you're gonna have to either way. Even if Kirk Cousins is your quarterback, you still have to be a good receiver.
Yeah, yeah. Cause otherwise, they've brought talent in, so yeah, you can say Drake London's gonna be good, but you can think Mooney or Rondell Moore is just gonna take time from him. Take time and targets. So they could draft Marvin Harrison. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know how they
might
would
be able to do that.
But like they draft Marvin Harrison, and then now Drake London's going to go down so far. I don't know. But
I'm looking for Mooney. Let's see how much he moved.
Yeah, he moved a lot. Well, no,
I don't think he didn't move quite as much as what London did.
No, he didn't. And if he's ends up being the 2 there, he could end up getting almost more points than London.
Yeah,
you don't know.
Mooney would be a target for me.
It happens every year. It's hype. Wait until the games start putting people.
On that note, man, like these guys here, Olave, Brandon Ayuk, Tyreek Hill, these guys are some solid buys right now.
Yeah, yeah.
If you're trying to win right now, and why wouldn't you be? These guys.
Yeah.
Or who I'm going after.
Well, I mean, there's another thing. If you have Drake London, you might be thinking the same thing. Might be a good time to trade him and force some of those names, dude. If you could get Chris Olave from London
Who's going to do that?
I don't know.
I think this is ridiculous.
A Falcons fan?
That's what sometimes I think keep trade cut is just a little bit not accurate.
I don't think anything's going to be 100% accurate except for ours. Well, yours. The thing that that's 100%.
It's based off of like historical numbers, like actual statistics. So this is based off of like it's supposed to emulate what the market, how do people value this guy?
Yeah.
But you shouldn't be worried about how people value him. You should be worried about, okay, Chris Olave. How does the person who owns Chris Olave value him?
Yeah.
Rather than what everybody does.
Right. Well, the Chris Olave owners have been seeing his numbers for, the 2 years. So, like, good luck, bud.
Dude, there's no way they're trading him for Drake London.
You don't trade numbers for hype.
Yeah.
But
I mean, there are some guys, though, I think, where you can see that there's talent. Like, I'm talking about Garrett Wilson here or Devontae Smith. Like, these guys are really good receivers.
Yeah.
But they haven't put the numbers up. I'm not sure you can say the same thing about London, but...
Yeah. Well, who would you say before Smith? Because Smith put the numbers up. I didn't think Smith was going to do it 2 years in a row, but he kind of did.
I was going to say Wilson. Those two are around the same numbers.
Yeah.
Like, you can see the ability. Like, to me, they could easily jump up into the CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
They could do a CeeDee Lamb jump.
Yeah.
Easily.
If they got that target, like CeeDee
Lamb
got the target share.
So I'm looking at, like, DJ Moore. He's a guy that, like, he sort of, I wouldn't say he came out of nowhere, but he finally made that jump.
Yeah.
That's the kind of guy I'm looking for if I'm as a trade target. DJ, like, here's another one. Where's the other guy from Texas?
Nico Collins.
Nico Collins.
Yeah, he's up there. He's up above. He's up above Devontae right there.
It's hard to tell who's going to be making that jump though. Like,
well, yeah, maybe if somebody really believes in Drake London, they'll say he's going to make that jump, and that's why they trade a big name for him.
Okay,
or something.
Right, in the best case scenario, Drake London is probably going to be doing as good as Chris Olave is already. Like, what's the upside there?
There's not really much of an upside. You just if you think somebody's going to do good, you trade somebody like some little stuff for him, and then you don't trade a big name for him. What the heck was that? Get out of here, stupid.
Whiskey the puppy is in here.
He's a mad lad. He just wants to bite stuff.
He doesn't know anything about football though, so he just comes in here when he's bored.
Yeah, he wants attention.
I mean, that's about all I have.
Yeah, there's not really much else to talk about right now.
It's that time of year.
Yeah, it's that time of year. So one little thing can set it off. Like, I mean, even you could talk a while about anything. Tyler Boyd didn't sign. Like, they're saying he's not going to sign with the Steelers now or something like that. So, it's just...
Gotta think they're going to be going receiver in the draft.
Steelers?
Yeah.
They need a good line, too. So,
they lost a center. I think they signed another one.
Yeah, they got one from the Rams. But not really much.
Well, like, I don't know about you, but I don't know anything about the rookies, so I've
heard a couple names, and I haven't really watched anything on them, but like I've heard of Adonze, Neighbors, and Harrison because those guys are supposed to be going like in the first. So that's so stupid though, just to put those guys that high and put it like, I get it's hype or whatever, but I can't. Like, dude, like anybody, like, okay, so I've heard all three of those names. So if they ask me, like, who are you going to cut, and it's not one of those three names, it's cut them every time. But they could be a really good guy, like a good receiver. Like,
it's like I said about Drake London. Like, if you're trading for him at that spot and you're thinking that's probably the best case scenario for him, and you're giving up something expecting the best case scenario.
Yeah.
It's just that, like, there's no upside to trading Amon-Ra for Marvin Harrison Jr. What's the upside there?
Because like yeah, because Marvin Harrison could be Justin Jefferson, but that's not really that big of an upside because you're not getting you're getting a little bit more